Anyway, time to talk to Zodiark here. I mean, Tataru. Talk to Tataru and get on with 5.1 MSQ. Shaken resolve. Tataru seems eager to make up for lost time. Brilliant. Gods, it's good to see you. I hope your being here means you've had your fill of rest. You're too selfish. That's your problem. Tataru, are you sure about that? But you'll be no good to anyone if you don't take a break every once in a while. Anyway, not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. Of course he does. Of course he doesn't want. Of course he's gonna be like that. I do hope he's all right. Typical Estinian. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped in that Grimald Dark, and that the Empires show no sign of movement. Which means we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Somehow I doubt that. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First. Great. Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Flamine to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet you at the terrace of the House of Splendors. Sorry, weren't you going to meet us here? Brilliant. My, it's been too long. Tataru did mention that I would be joining you, did she not? Thank you. Words cannot express how I've longed to know more of the First. This world Minfilia sacrificed so much to save. But come, rest your feet. Tataru should be arriving shortly. I mean, she's a Lalafell. Gonna be short. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle? This girl who Thancred named Reen? To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Brilliant. Might I ask a favor of you when next you return to the First? To tell Reen what I cannot. To tell her, thank you. And I would offer thanks to you as well, for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, could I have a word? I always end up accidentally putting the Cockney accents with an American Southern accent. Real. I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from our helper. I wish, nay. I've not heard a peep out of him. And it's been good long while too. Too bloody long. On account of which, I'm gonna sneak over to the border and see if I can get a signal to him from closer up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I should have no trouble picking me way through Grimald now that the fighting's died down. Gods know there's enough shadows to hide in. And it's beats waiting round here twiddling me thumbs. Anyway, I just wish I'd let you know. I just thought I'd let you know. Now, I'd best be. I nearly forgot. Kryle's at the stones, and she wants a word. Something to do with the patients. She was getting ready to examine them again when I left. We'd best head back then. I'm sure it's important. Oh, let's go talk to Kryle. Have we done almost anything with her? Like, cause like in Stormblood, she got written out of the story. And then I don't think we did anything with her in Shadowbringers, cause like, you know, she wasn't in the first. Anyway, let's talk to Jataru and see what Kryle has to say. It seems she's still examining them. Oh, I do hope it's nothing bad.
You're here. Good.
So, how are they?
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether. But subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed.
Uh-oh.
Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
I mean, it's not like I'm just gonna leave them.
Thank you.
But where's she even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
That's because the other greatest minds in the realm were in the first.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct? Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked, but I for one am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer.
I forget where Gratia came from, but apparently
There is
Kryle
another
knew her.
way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch.
Wait, doesn't he have an Archon tattoo?
Pray return to the first and apprise him and the others of the situation.
Maybe he was a student at the Studium.
We, meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, We will have good news to share upon your return.
Kryl doesn't actually have an Archon, isn't an Archon. Technically, neither are the twins, but that's fine because they're still kids. Don't you worry, Master Matoya and I will think of something. Take care in the first Brilliant. We're counting on you and the Crystal Exarch to bring our friends home. Go speak to the Exarch and the Ocular. Let's head on over. Hello, Grandpa Tia. Brilliant, you're returned. I hope your time in the source was suitably restful. But of course it wasn't. Go on. Their corporeal aether shows signs of instability? The gods, the possibility never even occurred to me. If you have returned in hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you will be sorely disappointed. Despite a mercy, we have the likes of Mistress Kryl and Master Matoya to keep our friends' bodies safe. I guess his Archon tattoo, I think, was on his neck, which you can't really see anymore. But they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told. No Urianger and Thancred? I mean, Thancred probably wouldn't even care. Or be worried that much. Oh, yeah, there they are. At least Urianger.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed. I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryl's findings.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryl is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration.
Probably.
Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy. The magic that summoned you was no exception. 'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first. To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed. Though I succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it.
You better not.
And
Think
so
of the
long as I
fangirls.
breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Yeah, that's Alizé.
What was that for?
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless she says so.
Yeah. You tell her, Alizé. You tell him.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
What did you just...
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion?
Grati is also in the...
Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success.
Grati is also in the Warrior of Light Simp Club. Just like
I
Alizé.
would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of her body and soul, but her personal effects besides.
Yeah, that's true.
This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us her possessions, she could carry our souls back to the source upon her person?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on her part, and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet were we to immure our souls within an object in her possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured.
So we're gonna seal ourselves. Are they gonna seal themselves in white auracite or something?
White auracite would, I
Yep, there we go.
believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us.
How useful.
On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves. It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Verbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Oh, that's nice. Let's go talk to him.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
That's true.
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Fae folk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Say no? Let's see. Stuff I'll never use or Gil. Let's go with Gil. Let's see. Anyway, let's talk to the Exarch. What levels? Okay, he's level 81. I'll go ahead and do this next one. Of course, I don't get like any XP from this, but whatever. A grand adventure. The Crystal Exarch would waste no time in seeking help for your stranded comrades. The Grand Cosmos, that's a dungeon name, I believe. That is, the place we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. I will arrange for a boat to carry us there. Whilst thou journeyest thither, I think it best that I devote mine energies to the creation of white arsite, by thy leave, of course. Process requireth no small amount of time, and should the new mole consent to lend us their aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. Agreed. Then I would ask the rest of you to meet me in Sullen, and do be prepared for a warm reception. I think I'll try healing the next dungeon, because I believe the Grand Cosmos I saw on 5.1 patch notes is one of the dungeons that they added. Now, where is Sullen? Oh, okay, it's right there. Let's head outside to Lakeland and fly on over. Anyway, let's talk to the Crystal Exarch and keep on going. As I told you before, I had scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by our host's familiars, and I suggest a reception. Oh, crud. I forgot about it. Wrong button. Anyway. Like I said, the Grand Cosmos is a dungeon, and I'm not high enough item level. Okay, let me head back over to the Crystarium and buy some tombstone gear. I have yeah, I am almost capped anyway. Yeah, that's the one I just got. Okay, so now I'm at 447. Let's head on back, and actually we can queue up for the Grand Cosmos right here. Let's make sure to actually summon my fairy. So for summon Seraph, actually, you know, I just said I was gonna do this as healer, but I kind of want to. I want to do warrior. I want to do some more on warrior. Warrior's just so much fun. Oh, I've seen this. I think I've seen this dungeon before, or at least part of it. Hopefully, we don't sit here for another 10 minutes. I haven't talked about this glam. I made this a while ago. And I feel like I might want to... Actually, never mind. I was going to say I wanted to... Maybe I can make the pants a little bit darker. But the only way I could do that is if I can use this general purpose jet black dye that I found. Or that I got from a... whatever it's called. From a retainer. Anyway, it's time for the Grand Cosmos. Looks like a friendly fellow. I'm getting an urge to play Os again. You remember my tank stance first. Yeah, I think I've seen at least part of this dungeon. Gonna do a big pull. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to anyway. Oops, wasting my my procs. These guys hit a little bit harder than the mobs in the twinning. It's not that bad. magic brooms. Gonna win Fantasia or something. There we go. Get both of these guys. Wrong one. I thought I was targeting the left one. The brooms are ads. I wonder what indicates where they're gonna do it, unless maybe they do it in the same place every time. Be sure to keep Surging Tempest up. Oh, okay. They're gonna sweep where the monk is, of course. Oh, the healer died, that's why. I was wondering why my health was going down. There we go. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry, bro. I'm a warrior. He just sold the whole thing. Of course, he gets the aggro. It's just heal the full health button. It's so ridiculous. And it's not even blood wetting yet. It's on a 25-second cooldown. It's kind of ridiculous. Raw intuition and blood wetting. Oops, wasting a infuriate stack. Nice and easy. Time for the next boss, Miss Leaf Queen. I should pop that a little bit later. Okay, we need to move the seeds. So that they don't grow on the soil. Okay, that makes sense. Gonna get more seedlings. Does that mean the seedlings are gonna be moved or just us? Okay, seedlings get moved too. Over one tile. There we go. This dungeon, the enemies are hitting a bit harder. But I mean, warrior. Hellcleave go unga bunga. think hits a good bit harder than I was expecting. But my press E to not die button is about to come up, so I should be fine. Like this song is like a kind of waltz style. Nah, not really. Okay, now is he just not taking any damage or something? What's happening with him? Whoops. And now Surging Tempest is gonna fall off. Doesn't matter, the fight's over. Here we go. This reminds me of Karazhan, in a way. Are they all gonna come to life and attack us? Yep, sullied these halls long enough. Come, Lugus, our guest yet want for company. What a lovely fellow. You might even say he's kind of hot. Get Surging Tempest up before I start using my Unga Bunga Fell Cleaves. Mind. piano. Oh, they got to burn everything? Oh, you have to move it to something. Okay. Move this back. Over here. Let's do this. Okay, this is the same mechanic we saw in that other dungeon. Gotta keep the healer alive. Give everyone a shield. Heal yourself, bro. I'm fine. Don't get in the way, he's gonna run over there and he's gonna get hit. Then he's gonna run to the fourth person. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Almost done. There we go. That was a scorching hot fight. Honestly, like having the ability to heal someone else. Oh, no one's gonna stay. Gotta... Yep, there we go. They extract some materia. And that was the Grand Cosmos. Watch the wrap-up cutscene. I'm gonna meet this Numo. See why he's such a recluse.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't look like a Numo.
Backlook, 'tis good to see you again after all these years.
We're gonna need to stop soon. I guess I
And
just noticed
judging
what
by
time
your
it is.
vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Sake? Beg?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, We will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence!
What? Huh?
It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety.
Interesting.
Oh, you know not what you ask of me. What horrors my knowledge has wrought.
Magical plague of Vobers.
You know of the plague? Then you know how dangerous soulcraft can be. Instead of saving your friends, you risk damning them. Are you sure you're willing to take that chance?
I mean, they're gonna die if we don't do anything.
No. No. Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Well, I do have some gil I can give you.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
Alright. Let's talk to Elfnode and wrap up this quest. There you are. The others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower with Becklug. For the record, I truly wish we hadn't had to resort to using such words when threatening them. I have ever sought to convince, not compel. Yet I cannot deny that a part of me is glad Urianger shared his knowledge of the Numo with us. Had he not, Becklug wouldn't be here. Speaking of whom, we should hurry. To keep our guest waiting would only add insult to injury. Now enter the Grand Cosmos, a party of NPC avatars. Okay, yeah, trust.